You've taken yourself within 8 points of the title, but how much did you have to do it the hard way tonight?
It was not the best start that we imagined, but we were reacting incredible well. We played so good, and after 10 against 11, and after when Cash was sent off as well, was there, and that was a really good performance, and the team was committed. We know how important it was. So the Premier League is the most important title of the year. So 11 months fighting. And we need 7 points, 2 victories, 1 draw. And next one, Crystal Palace. We're going to try to get it closer.
What did you put that slow start down to? It was within 20 seconds. They just catch you by surprise.
It's not a slower start. to realize a slower start, you need 5-10 minutes. It was not even 5-10 minutes. It was
20 seconds.
20 seconds. So it was a fault. And after, we knew it. Mings always played to a channel, to Watkins, that played so good. But since then, you need sometimes to realize how to react in that situations, and especially with 10 against 11. The minutes we play really well. When we had the ball. And we were lucky at the end. We equalized the send-offs, 10 against 10, and after we controlled the game with the players that we had, with Riyad, with Bernardo, with Gundo, with Phil, with Rodri, have the quality to keep the ball, and we finished the game.
You clearly weren't happy with the red card. Why do you think John Stones shouldn't have been sent off?
First, I didn't see the action in the TV, so it's late, but the intention is no. Because he won the ball, go late and do it. So, but now because we win, I'm happy. It was lose, we will be angry, but it's okay. So it's tough to play. It's a good lesson for the final on Sunday. You play a final 10-11, there's no chance, and especially with the Champions League games against PSG.
Does it make it worse if you didn't obviously agree with it in the first place, but the fact he misses the chance to play in a final as well?
Well, and the fact that we played really well. We're so intense, so aggressive with the ball, with always the intention to find the spaces where you should attack, and everybody runs. It was a good performance, honestly. Aston Villa here is always difficult. Of course, they miss a lot, Jack Grealish. But in general, we did a good game.
You mentioned a number of your players there that played well tonight. In particular, how impressed were you this evening with Phil Foden and his contribution?
He's growing. This guy is growing. He's making steps every time, steps forward. So his influence in our game is massive right now. So scored a goal, provoked the 2 yellow cards, and the final third always have the feeling he create, run a lot. He's so aggressive without the ball. He's becoming a serious player.
Is he ahead of where you expected him to be at this age?
There are guys with a 90-20 that are unstoppables, and there are the other ones with 29-30 they are not. So the players mark what they are on the pitch, on the grass, on the green, and that dictate in this place dictate who they are. And Phil, from right now for the last games especially, is becoming a so important player. So against Dortmund, we scored a goal. The second one, the cross for the penalty, the final goal in the last minute against Dortmund at home. His influence in the final third is so important, and he can play wide, can play inside. He's so aggressive with the ball. And just recover well, and think the next one.
Thanks, Pep.
You're very welcome.
After the worst possible start, did it turn out all right in the end?
Well, of course, for someone which wants to be champs, should be that way, So they started really well, Before the first minute, they scored a goal, but I think after that we recovered the possession of the ball, we controlled the game, and we turned around even first half. And of course, second half was a little bit tough because we were, one man down. But at the end, was a good game, and we are so happy for another victory.
Phil Foden got one of the goals. As a senior player yourself, how impressed are you with the way he is maturing and the way he's playing?
Well, I know him about 5 years now. So since he was a little boy, he comes to train with us now, showed his quality, and was no doubt about that. And of course, he's really mature now. He's taking the action a little bit better. He's chose better his actions, and of course, today he scored, and another game he was awesome as well. And I'm so pleased and so happy for him because he's a nice guy, nice boy, and he deserves all the best in this life.
Obviously a good night for him, but how do you feel for John Stones, who, as a result of that red card, misses the Carabao Cup final?
Well, I feel sorry for him. For me, it's the Carabao Cup final, and when something happened, a red card in the first half, tough game like this, we are fighting for the title. It's not easy for any player, but we are behind him, supporting him. He showed already his quality, his positive energy always in the training sessions in the game as well, and he helped us in different situations and many situations. He's scoring goals, defending so well, giving pass, keeping the ball possession. So we can name so many reasons here. He helped us this season, and for sure you're gonna miss him. But I am so pleased for him because he was one of the best players in this squad so far this season.
Now tell me as well, as the club captain, what it has been like for you and the other players over the last 3 days during the whole Europa Super League situation?
Well, it's been crazy, since Saturday, after the Chelsea defeat in the FA Cup semi-final. So the guys were a little bit down, and then on Monday this Super League comes up and comes out. We were a little bit surprised, we didn't expect that, but at the end, I think the good sense wasn't the right thing to do. I think everyone which loves football didn't support this Super League, include our players and our club, and of course you are so happy now because everything was turning around, and all the fans, all the people which loves football now is calm, but for sure, it was a little bit surprise for everyone.
The players' relief. We'll come back to the Super League at the end of the show. But how super was that display from City overall for you tonight?
Well, apart from 21 seconds, they just bossed the game completely, didn't they? Yes, they went behind. But even when they went behind, they had so much control of the ball. They were up to 82% possession at one stage. It was just inevitable that they were going to score. And once they did, you knew the second was going to come. And once it did, even though they got reduced to 10 men, I never felt at one stage that they were in trouble of drawing the game, let alone losing the game. They were just in complete control, and they had too many good players for Aston Villa.
Yeah, and one of them in particular, Phil Foden, we touched upon before the break. What do you make of the way, not just tonight, but in general this season, he's stepped up after David Silva, not just to playing games, but to play huge parts, pivotal roles in games?
Yeah, I think it's a lot to do with the management, how they've dealt with him. As I mentioned before, it's a lot to do with the players he's playing with. And like Macca tell you, you can learn a certain amount of the coaching staff, of the managers, but when you're in and around the players in that dressing room and on the training field, you learn so much of the Kevin De Bruyne, the good types. You can learn bad things off bad types. I'm not sure they've got too many bad types at Man City because the manager won't allow it. The Gundogan's, the Bernardo Silva's, 2 assists there tonight, hardly give the ball away. David Silva, a couple of years ago, he's picked their brains. He's a very, very clever boy, Phil Foden. He's used he's leached onto the good types, and he's picked every little bit of their game. Now, he can only do what he can do. This is where he's at his best, in tight areas. His touch, he can control the ball in the telephone box. No one can get it off him. He just manipulates it. Look, tight areas, checks his shoulder, knows he can turn on his back foot, and then everyone comes alive because they know that he's got the ability to be able to find them. I mean, he's just incredible at finding space. When he finds himself in wide areas here, he gave Matty Katz an absolute torrid time tonight. But it's going to turn the pace there. That stays on his feet, could have slowed himself down and gone down. But he's just a wonderful technician, isn't he, Macca?
See there, when he received the ball like that, that's an innocuous piece of action. But only good players can do that. They must be full of confidence to whip the body round, knowing that they might get kicked on the other side, but he's always opens his body up to receive it on the back foot always to move forward. There's never any negativity. There's never any 2 touches before he's looking and turning. He's always open his body's up. His neck's on the swivel constantly. Here's his goals for the season. That's 7 this season in the Premier League. He's got 14 in total, second leading goal scorer for Manchester City. His numbers are phenomenal, and the season has not finished. Yeah. If he stays fit, he'll add another 2 or 3 to that, and he'll be going into, well, we all hope, as Englishmen, that he goes into the summer tournament in fantastic form, because at this moment in time, he's one of their most dangerous and important players, isn't he, today? De Bruyne is out. Who stood up again today? It was Phil Foden.
We tried to pick it, didn't we, Mac? We was trying to find weakness. It was difficult, wasn't it? We were sitting there saying, well, we can't do this, maybe you can't. I mean, he can still develop. If we said to him tomorrow, look, or Pep Guardiola said to him tomorrow, look, you can get better. You haven't scored outside the box. You're getting opportunities because teams drop off us. Get outside your foot, like Phil does, like Kevin De Bruyne does, like Gundogan does. They can hit that ball, left foot, right foot. You're capable of doing it. He would do it. He'd be on that training pitch and he'd be absolutely doing it. He lives for the football club, lives and breathes football. You're never going to see a bad headline about. I think he's a model professional who wants to learn. Yes, he's made mistakes in the past, but I think he marries the game. He's married to the football club. He loves that club. You cut him in half, it will be colours of the shirt what he wears.
Yeah, it's a fantastic story, isn't it? When you think,
it is.
The age of 6 and
anybody coming through the ranks like that from a 6-year-old and right through the academy. And I think the most important thing for academies, which of course happens at City, it happens at Liverpool, it happens at all the top teams, is that if you've got a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, and you feel as if they've got talent and you think they have a chance, you shove them straight away in with the big boys into the training fields. You don't leave them with the 18s or the 23s to faff around. You stick them in. You train with the best players in the country, arguably across Europe, and you see if they can live or die there, how the touch is, how quick they are on the movement, if they can turn, if they can move the ball quickly and combine with other players. And because we've heard about, certainly in the Northwest where we live, we've heard about Phil Foden's reputation for a long, long time. And it's just about biding your time with him, introducing him with the right.
So the 10 men of Manchester City lead the 11 of Aston Villa by 2-1 at half-time. What an eventful 45 minutes that was. John Stones involved in an awful lot of it, including after 20 seconds. What a dream start for Villa.
Brilliant start by Villa. You see the kick-off here and we'll run the clock. Manchester City with possession. And there's a slight foul for a high kick there. And then they just fall asleep, Manchester City, slightly. They're quite clever, Aston Villa, but it was a mistake by John Stones. Gets caught for the ball over, tackles with his wrong foot. But the goal itself was marvellous. Ollie Watkins into John McGinn, and he finishes it really nicely. You see Matty Target shoving Mahrez out the way. And if John Stones just follows the line of the pitch and runs directly down towards us, towards the bottom of the camera, he gets that, but he runs across and then goes with his left foot instead of waiting for his right foot. But it was a brilliant finish by Aston Villa. And a brilliant start.
And the joint fastest goal after 20 seconds that we have seen in this Premier League season. But then City hit back, which we expected. But prior to the equaliser, you noticed a little subtle change down their left-hand side.
Well, I think Zinchenko was playing in field. He's playing as a left-back today. He was playing in here far too often. You want Phil Foden inside the field because I think he's a better technician and he can open up. And not only that, he's an absolute goal threat. If he gets in the width for the post. I think here you see on the goal, Zinchenko, they swap positions. Someone give instructions back out there so he can get Foden in a more dangerous central area. Great header back from Zinchenko, just cushion header into Foden, and then Foden just gets his head up and he's got the vision to find the pass, but he doesn't admire it. Then he puts himself in a danger area. Where can I score a goal? Well, exactly there. That's exactly where you can score a goal. Not standing out wide. We don't need him going past people and delivering crosses. We needed him affecting the game in the centre of the pitch. He's very difficult to pick up and magnificent in tight areas. And when this come across Macca, it was never in doubt, was it?
Never in doubt. He's in really good form. Full of confidence. Mahrez, Bernardo Silva linking up, and then to a certain extent they link up for the seconds as well, don't they? They've been very dangerous, Manchester City, and look as if once they got the first, it was just inevitable that they get another one.
They did link up, but from a Villa point of view, how disappointing will it be?
Oh, they're devastated. I mean, if you look at Rodri, he's number 16. No one's getting near him. He's centre of the goal. He's the main threat there. You have to come and, accost him. You have to get close to him. Mings is coming back onto Stones. Yeah, there's almost too many there, but they're not dealing with it. It's a fantastic cross from Bernardo. The slowness on that ball. He knows he's going to clip it up. It's a wonderful leap from Rodri. Only has to get a touch. Martinez has committed himself. A slight touch sends it into the net. 2-1. Brilliant from comeback from Man City after a devastating start to the game. But they never, ever panic. But they might panic now.
No, they won't.
Because they're a man down. Right decision, red card?
Well, yes, it was in the end because the challenge is high and it's reckless and it's silly. But look where they are in the position on the pitch. You know, Jacob Ramsey's running towards the touchline. He doesn't have to make the challenge. He just needs to usher the ball out. But when you see that, and once the referee goes over to the monitor, it's always a red card. It's high, it's up against his knee. It could have been very dangerous for the youngster. And it was always going to be a red card, unfortunately, for John Stone.
Tim?
I mean, yeah, I think it's a red card when you analyse it. When you look at the slow there, look at John's leg straight into the knee of Ramsey. I think what he's got caught out by is we don't know much about Ramsey. He's a young boy. You know, he doesn't know how quick he is. Well, he knows now. He's got a good turn of foot. He got there before John.
agrees with your
No,
opinion.
but I think he'll calm himself down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a wee bit of bias there from Pep. But listen, it makes the game a better game. I've been saying all year, we need to handicap Man City. We need to handicap and get a player off the pitch, make it a level game. Now we've got a level game.